Action. Welcome back to another episode of So Science. I'm your host, Dr. Charlie Charles, and today we are going to delve into a little different area today on our podcast, sociology. Today, I'm actually joined by co-host Douglas McDougall. Welcome, Doug.
Thank you, Charlie. Today, we're going to be going over some kind of the general topic of stereotypes, sociology and all that, and more specifically, how they impact EDS.
What is EDS?
You shall see.
Oh, I'm scared. So, stereotypes then. What are those?
So let's define the terms, shall we? Kind of the dictionary definition I have here says, a stereotype is a widely held but fixed and oversimplified image or idea, a particular type of person or thing.
Well, how bad can that be? It sounds like people are just trying to make things easier on themselves by making things simpler and easier to understand, right?
Well, often they're used by groups of people to hurt other groups of people. So.
Oh, yeah, of course. So often that happens. Wait, that actually reminds me a little bit about this book that I read recently. It was called American Born Chinese. Have you read it?
Actually, I have. That's a perfect book to illustrate kind of the concepts of stereotypes and EDS.
And what might that be?
You'll see.
Okay.
Anyway, so you said you read the book. What do you think?
I thought it was really interesting. We had a couple different storylines. It was a little confusing. You had the Monkey King and everything. But yeah, then the part that really attracted my attention was Chin Ki. And I think that's the part that was the most stereotypical per se.
For our listeners at home, who is Chin Ki? How is he portrayed?
Oh, that's a little bit complicated to explain, but I'll try. So we have this main character who goes on this epic journey and actually turns into, he's Chinese at first, and then he turns into American, physically transforms. And then he has this mystical cousin that's portrayed as the most stereotypical Chinese. What can you think of? Buck teeth, giant ponytail,
speaking in an accent,
of super strong accent,
just complete stereotype.
Yeah, everything you think of. He's
awful depiction.
Yeah, right. But
it's there for a reason in the book.
Yeah, it's there for a reason. Because it's kind of Danny is kind of the main character. Well, his actual name's Jin.
But when he becomes white or becomes an American,
it's just kind of past.
He kind of takes on a different name.
Yeah, his name's Danny when he's American, and it kind of takes on Jin Ki is his past almost trying to come confront him, and it turns out, spoiler alert, to be the Monkey King.
Yeah, you're gonna get. Yeah, this book's gonna be spoiled.
Yeah, this book's totally spoiled. Sorry, anybody who's looking to reading this. But yeah, so what is EDS? Can you explain this topic to me?
Well,
because I have a couple guesses on what it might be, but
all right. EDS basically, it stands for Enemy Deficiency Syndrome, and the idea is people just have this need to have just an enemy, any type of person or group of people that they can kind of point blame to and just have as an adversary. And so this comes up in American Born Chinese, where our main character, he is Chinese, but because of how the white people around him treat him, he begins to see kind of himself as this adversary, or that he is kind of bad because all the people around him are treating him like an enemy, like he's other. And so because of that, he feels like he is just
an enemy,
a bad person.
A bad thing.
Yeah,
right?
He feels like he is
being Chinese is horrible.
Evil. Yeah. Which is why he forms this he even more strongly forms a stereotype in his head about the evil Chinese, all these bad things about Chinese people that if you actually they are not real, but he convinced himself of it because everyone around him is treating him like an enemy and treating him like he was these things.
Yeah, so he's like, you're saying that Danny, or Jin, as he was former and present, I suppose, he actually is the one who created like Chin-Ki, kind of like out of his like mind's eye.
He's like, Chin-Ki is the embodiment of all the bad stereotypes about Chinese people, but it's also like, it starts as like someone else's reflection on Jin Wang, our main character, but he internalizes that and it becomes his own internal image of what Chinese people are, and then he tries to distance himself from that and tries to turn himself white, basically, into Danny, this other version who he's just playing a part, trying to fit in and not be this enemy that other people see him as.
Yeah, that's a really good insight. And yeah, bringing it back a little bit to enemy deficiency syndrome.
Of course.
I just grabbed the book here, and I can see on page 30, is when he's getting introduced to his classmates. He's probably in elementary school, maybe second grade, third grade. There we go. And she's introducing him, and you can just see this look on all of his classmates' faces. They're just like, whoa, like, what is this person doing here? You know, like this guy.
And then this one guy asks, does he eat dogs? Which is like the beginning of this, like, this is how these kids see him. They see him as this, I guess, almost a monster, you could say, because of like what they have been led to believe he like is.
Yeah, I mean, and it's kind of cool. Like, you can also see more effects of EDS, because I feel like the main reason that people suffer from this, and like nations, is that they are internally struggling, right? And then to kind of form together, they
blame someone else.
They need an enemy, right? That can like fight, right? Because the enemy of my enemy is my friend, right? So if there's an enemy, a common enemy, right, then you'll all kind of go on the same side.
Exactly. Like, war tends like to unite a country
Most
around
times.
like, well, yeah, not always,
Yeah.
but there was this uniting force in having an outside enemy that you can, like you said, like you can rally against. And that's kind of what EDS is. I think this goes back, like, in modern society, EDS does not serve people very well.
Oh, no, 100%, right?
It just causes problems. But I think, like, evolutionarily, this is deeply rooted in, like, human evolution, because people lived for a very long time in our evolution as, you can't really say cavemen, but, like, as hunter-gatherers, and, like, in small tribes that fought with other tribes, basically, like, and
so if they had an enemy, they could work together to defeat that enemy.
But
and now
you had to know, like, who that enemy was, and so creating stereotypes of your enemies, then
you could have like a umbrella kind of, just like anybody besides us
is bad, because in like that time frame that could be true, like, it's other people are dangerous who are not in your immediate group, and so it's like highlighting differences in other people so that you can then like recognize that and see, oh, this is maybe one of our enemies, or this person isn't like us, is like a trait that I think, and that's why it's so prevalent, is because it's human nature. It's fundamentally human to want to create enemies and want to boil them down to these basic, just evil, like, stereotypes.
Yeah, and I'm sure, going back to one of our first and early episodes, we got a caveman back in time. We had a whole time machine. And yeah, I'm sure he would really be able to speak on that matter. But yeah, bringing it back
we should bring him back on. Maybe we should do that.
Bringing it kind of back to present day, I think, like you were saying, it's a very outdated effect, right? I think what I think we're trying to work towards as a human race is that kind of global, like, happiness and like friendliness and working together.
I agree. I totally agree. And I think human nature is just
fighting against
us. Yeah. Fighting against kind of global world peace. I don't know. It's kind of a, I don't know.
Well, there you go. That's maybe
unhappy
our
thought,
root.
but
humans are flawed.
Yes.
You know, what would Kant say on this matter?
We're all imperfect beings, or we were designed for a different, not designed, but we evolved for a different world that now we find ourselves in, and
but we created this world.
that's
see?
true. And now we have to adapt. We have to lay in the bed we've made.
Well, I'm sure we could devolve on this subject for hours and hours, but my producer is telling us that we need to cut it short. So thank you so much for tuning in to another episode of So and So Science.
Yes.
I'm your host, Dr. Charlie Charles, and this is
Doug McDouglason. And
McDougall. And yes.
Thank you so much for having me on, as always.
Oh, of course. Anytime.
It's been a good chat. And thank you for listening.
Thank you for listening.
Like, subscribe, comment, turn on all post notifications.
Okay.
Oh, go on Spotify. Listen to us there also. Like, we got to be number 1 on podcast on Spotify. Like, please do that for us.
Yes.
We won't kiss your toes or like bow down before you, but we will.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's getting a little far.
It is.
All right. Thank you so much for listening. Have a nice day.